As tension between North Korea and the United States has gone from a steady simmer toward a rolling boil, state media reports millions of North Koreans are ready to fight.
Show of force from North Korea, the rogue nation reportedly launching a massive military drill overnight as President Trump calls the entire Senate for a briefing at the White House.
This is a real threat to the world, whether we want to talk about it or not. North Korea is a big world problem, and it's a problem we have to finally solve. People have put blindfolds on for decades, and now it's time to solve the problem.
A state-run newspaper reported nearly 5 million people volunteered to enlist or re-enlist in the Korean People's Army in the past few days. That report hasn't been verified, so take it with a grain of salt. The Washington Post notes similar claims have coincided with escalating foreign tensions in the past. But even without new or renewed enlistments, North Korea's army is believed to be the fourth largest in the world. It's estimated to have more than 1 million active soldiers, 4 to 5% of the total population of roughly 25 million. The U.S. Department of Defense estimates another 25 to 30% are assigned to a reserve or paramilitary unit. Part of that massive size is due to the fact that North Korean men and women are required to serve in the military. They face longer conscription terms than anywhere else in the world. Draft aside, a massive influx of volunteers would line up with some of the guiding principles entrenched in the Hermit Kingdom. The country has long functioned around the idea of chuche, which means self-reliance. The idea presents the North Korean people as the master of their own fate and the ruling party as the revolutionary tool. In the 1990s, former leader Kim Jong-il pushed a greater emphasis on military-first policy. According to U.S. analysis, that move enshrined the army as the ultimate defender of the country's sovereignty. But that policy led to a massive amount of resources directed to the army at the expense of the North Korean people. Rather than devote resources away from the armed forces after several bad harvests, Kim Jong-il accepted food aid from the international community, but only after somewhere between several 100,000 and 1 million North Koreans died. And now Kim Jong-un, the third leader in the Kim family regime, has elevated the nation's nuclear program and economic development as top priorities, despite warnings the country could face a food shortage. In July, the United Nations warned recent droughts could cause food insecurity in North Korea, and there are reports that even the military is struggling to feed its soldiers. But despite North Korea's goal of self-reliance and a focus on its military prowess, its leadership might again turn to diplomacy rather than war. U.S. Secretary of State Rex Tillerson said Saturday the U.S. had direct lines of communication to Pyongyang. Whether or not North Korean officials are also going to use those lines, Tillerson didn't say.